I get a guest on here, my People's Champ title is on the line. In case you don't know, like if I comment right here, you know, the title's right there. People's Champ. That can be lost at any moment. Anytime I lose a debate, I'm the most active champion there is. So I have to run my tune.
We'll see. You don't have much of a leg to stand on this season.
Welcome, everybody. Good morning. I know today's one's early. I think this is the earliest I've ever done on here. But I told you guys I got my brand envelope meeting later in the evening. So I have to just get this out of the way. We got Spurs tomorrow. I've got TP here. He's a proud Spurs fan. So we're going to crash it on him. You know how it goes. Big up everyone, man. Big up chat every single time, man. Let's get straight into it, man. Fucking your weekend, man. Let's recap that. What the fuck, man? The one time I'm rooting for you guys.
The thing is, when we started, anyone could tell you, I had no hope. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they're a good side. They're the best team in the league right now. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they say the usual form goes out the window during a derby, but they're a good side, innit? And obviously, the first half, I feel like we gifted them a couple of goals. We've been bad on set pieces all season. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was saying, when we play Arsenal, we need to sort out our corners. There was no secret. And we saw we got punished on 2 corners. The Havertz one was the most embarrassing. The guy was which one?
The Havertz one.
His goal.
That should have not been given, yeah.
Why? Because of Vicario?
Yeah, because if you look at the one that got disallowed against us with Aston Villa, why should that?
What, the one that your player shoved? Yeah. Do you know what it is? I feel like I don't really want to make excuses because Vicario should be doing much better. Do you know what I mean? It's it's not even like he was being held back. Like somebody's standing in front of him. At the end of the day, you're a goalkeeper. You need to be stronger. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you could look at it and say, "Oh, why was this one not a foul? And this one was a foul." But at the end of the day, I'm looking at my goalkeeper and saying he needs to be stronger because we've seen it throughout the whole season. I think there was one game. I forgot which one it was. Everton, maybe. I think it was Everton. And he just got bullied that whole game, every single set pieces. You know that's what Everton's going to do. He got bullied. Everyone's looking at the North London derby saying, yeah, we need to be stronger on corners. And we just weren't. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we gifted them a couple of goals. And in the second half, we gave it a go in it. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm not really mad. We gave it a go. They're better than us. I liken the way they played to the way they played City, where they were just compact. They didn't you know how we've seen Arsenal the majority of the season controlling the ball, creating chances. They weren't really doing that. They were just compact. But against City, they've got a stronger defense and they were able to punish us much more. So in the second half, at the end of the day, as a fan, all you want to do is see your team give it a go. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we gave it a go. We lacked a lot of quality in the final third in terms of crossing and taking chances. Obviously, Romero had 3 big chances. Do you know what I mean? But I think when we played them last year and we lost 3-1 under Conte, and the way I felt after that game was much worse than the way I felt in front of this game, because to be fair, under Ange, I've basically seen what I expected and what I wanted to see. Do you know what I mean? Everything else is a bonus. Coming off since Poch, Mourinho, Nuno, Conte, all of the other interims, all the football has just been dire. We've had bad players. We've had players that they're just not capable of doing. And coming into this season, as a Spurs fan, any Spurs fan will tell you they only wanted to see good football. That's it, good football, and everything else is a bonus. Then we can move from there next season, and everything from now is really a bonus. Do you know what I mean? We had a hiccup during the reverse fixture against Chelsea, where all our players just fell down, 2 red cards. It was just a nightmare. Then after that, we just didn't recover. But to be fair, in terms of the season, I feel like I've seen what I wanted to see from Ange. In terms of North London derby, it's really annoying to lose that, bro. You never want to lose that, but it is what it is. I can just put that down to them just being a better team than us. They're just a better team than us. They're more cohesive. They've had a manager for 4 or 5 years now. They all know what they need to do, and we cannot compete.
No, literally, what you said there about you've seen everything you expected to see from Ange. I've said this before on other shows. In terms of what you guys got going on with Spurs, with Harry Kane leaving, Conte leaving, me personally, I'm a Prem tard, innit? Or Champions League tard. I didn't know Ange. So even when we was linked to Ange, I didn't even like that. So to see what you guys have done now, you know what I'm saying? You're in the Champions League battle, and it's the first year we have an exact style of play. The personnel isn't the greatest. I'm still seeing the likes of Ben Davies and the team, Werner, all of this like in the first year, what you guys got going on, I think he's done an amazing job. I think you guys could look up and say, you know what, for a rebuild, we've done good. In the next 2 or 3 years, you guys could be back being a regular Champions League team.
Bro, like even before we got Ange, like it was between Ange and we had that interview with Poch. Bro, I wanted Poch so badly, bro. He gave me my best moments as a Spurs fan. I wanted Poch badly. Then they're telling me we're getting this Aussie. I'm thinking, who's this guy? Come from Celtic, as fans, as Prem fans, we're snobbish, innit? So anything out of the Prem, we're thinking, who's this guy? Who's this guy? And then obviously pre-season, we're playing all right. I'm thinking, pre-season hype, man. Everyone plays good in pre-season. And then we started the season strong. And since then, it's like we've taken our foot off the gas a little bit. But it's still there what he's trying to do. I think when we had our injuries after U-Lot's game, and then we went to City with Ben Davies and Emerson Royale at centre back and got a 2-2 draw, 3-3 draw, whatever it was. It's like after that, I think as a Spurs fan, all you can do is, do you know what? Let's give this guy a couple of years. Let's back him in the windows, because bro, to turn up to the Etihad with Ben Davies and Emerson Royale as your centre back, after Ben Davies and Emerson Royale under the previous managers have been awful. Do you know what I mean? You're fearing the worst, but then to actually still play the football that he wants to play, do you know what I mean? To still, everyone always, I saw a comment here about never letting go of the high line, but I feel like that's how you establish like the way you want to play. Do you know what I mean? Against Chelsea, yeah, it was ridiculous what we was doing. Do you know what I mean? You lot were running through and goal every single attack, but I feel like the pros of that is that you can go to a City with players that are not your starting players and you still have that way of playing. Do you know what I mean? I feel like as a manager in your first season, those are some of the things you have to do. Do you know what I mean? Because if the first mishap, now you're going to resort to a low block defense or putting everyone behind the ball. That means the next time, obviously football's going to be hard, bro. You're going to go in the Champions League and that. You're going to play against Real Madrid. You're going to be under the cosh and that. You still want to play the way you want to play. You still want to have your identity. So, bro, it's brazy, bro.
So in hindsight, would you say you're happy you chose Ange over Poch, or if he had the opportunity for Poch, you would go back to that?
Obviously, in hindsight, there's only one answer. Do you know what I mean? I think what Poch is doing at Chelsea, obviously with a lot of like circumstances, I would say he's underachieving. Like I know I read your tweets a lot of the times, and you say like he's overachieving with these players, but it's similar to Ten Hag, like in terms of, yeah, he's got bad players, but he doesn't have that bad players. Sometimes I see you lot playing, I think Sheffield, and I'm just thinking like you can do much more here. Like obviously the players can do much more also, but I think he can do much more personally. So in hindsight, I would say Ange is a breath of fresh air. Like it's a manager we haven't seen before. It's a manager that knows exactly what he wants and knows how to tell the players, and the players are buying into it. Do you know what I mean? With Poch, you saw him create maybe 2-3 good squads with Spurs, but towards the last year when it was like, when the players were getting older and we wasn't investing, you could see that it was like, all right, we're tired of Poch now. Do you know what I mean? So as much as I wanted Poch, because that's all I know, he gave me like some good moments as a Spurs fan. I'm happy with this appointment for sure.
So tell us about Poch's first season at Spurs, and because I spoke to a Spurs fan and they said the season that he's currently having now with us is very similar to his first season. Now, I didn't really pay attention to his first season like that. So what was it like?
I think it was, the reason why I'd say it was similar is because he did have he integrated a lot of young players. I feel like that was his philosophy early doors, like to just have young players and mold them into the team he wanted. And then later on in the years, you could see that like come into fruition. Like, do you know what I mean? The likes of Dele Alli, buying Son stocks when it wasn't Son stocks. Do you know what I mean? Obviously persisting with like Harry Kane, even though he went on loan a few times. So yeah, I feel like, I don't know though, because I feel like everything just clicked. I feel like there's very few teams that you can look at in history where they've grown, like for example, maybe you can look at Arsenal now, they've grown up together as a young squad and it's just clicked now. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think that's the squad that Chelsea have and the personalities you have. I don't know if it will be like that in terms of clicking, especially with your owner just wanting to just buy everybody. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you kind of, it's like a gift and a curse, because with Levy, it's like he's not going to give you every single player. Do you know what I mean? So if you've got a bunch of players, these are your players to work with. And it's like, all right, cool, I have to make it happen. But I feel like he's kind of looking from the side of his eye thinking, in the summer, am I going to get 5-6 new players? Even if I don't want them, am I still going to get new players? And then I have to see what I have to do. If he looks at it like, all right, these are the crop of players that I've got for the next couple of years. I have to make something happen. I feel like he would get much better results.
You see, when it comes to Poch, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was at a point now where the game has passed him a bit. Obviously, I'm very critical on the
That's
players.
huge, bro. That's huge to say, man.
I'm very critical on the players, but I'm looking at the way he struggles to adapt. I saw it in the 2 games where I really saw him adapt was the Aston Villa second half and the Man United second half. The last 25 minutes against Man United at home. Other than that, when things ain't going his way, he's very stubborn. He's not a reactive coach. He's not a reactive coach. We could concede a goal. He's not doing a sub till the 65th minute, 70th minute. He's not, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to change something at half time when it's not working. So I don't know. I feel like we're at a point now where he might be washed. And it's okay, isn't it?
Do you know what? This is obviously I started critical of Poch, but now this is where I flipped the script, yeah. Bro, there's been so many Chelsea games that I've watched, yeah, where the game should have been out of sight. Do you get it? So it's like, okay, yeah, the last 20 minutes, you see the team like run out of ideas, or it's like now Poch freshen it up. Do you know what I mean? But how many times have we said, oh, Poch coached the 3-0, Poch coached the 2-1, Poch coached the 4-0? Do you know what I mean? There's so many games where it's like, first half, you lot should be 3-0 up. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like in football, that's when it goes from the manager. At the end of the day, the manager's in charge. All eyes go to the manager at the end of the game. You need to get results. It's a results business. But there's so many times where it's like, well, you can't blame him for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, City at Wembley, I wouldn't say you lot are like completely dominated, but he had more than enough chances to win the game. I remember vividly the Chilwell one when he was running through and he could just square it to Sterling, bro. That's a simple tap-in, bro. Jackson had 3 or 4 chances. There's only so much he can do from the bench. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, cool. It's 70, 80 minutes now, and now you're looking for Poch to do something. It's like, what else can he do? He's already said that he's not really a fan of this squad. Like, obviously, in so many words, he said that. He's already said he's not really a fan of this squad, yeah? So it's like, in the 80th minute, when he's basically played all his cards he can, what more do you want him to do when he's just literally coached this team to create chances? Like, I don't want you Chelsea fans to act like your team doesn't create chances. Like, you create a lot of chances, do you know what I mean? But you also waste a lot of chances, do you know what I mean? And then it's like a point of like, you have to ask yourself, what more do you want him to do? There's more that he can do, but you can't really look at that and say, oh, Poch, do more, because you're seeing your players fail right in front of your eyes. It's happening.
Yeah, the players, I'm very vocal on the fact that the players ain't good enough. I do think the problems are way bigger than the manager, regardless of if he was to get sacked. I don't think that fixes anything. Even if he was to stay, we need to improve on the squad, 100%. Like, but I see games like, for example, Wolves in December. You know, Sterling's through on goal. He could have squared it to Jackson. Exactly. He don't square it. It costs us. We lose the game. You know, I see stuff like that, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then everyone's crashing Poch. That's when I'm like, all right, cool. That's out of your hands. But results like 10 men against Burnley.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Do you know what I'm saying? At home, then back-to-back Sheffield right after that. Bruv, it comes to a certain point where I know these players ain't good enough, but I'm seeing anyone and everyone, even Newcastle, look the way they just slapped up Sheffield. They went a couple goals down. We go a couple goals down. It's shocking. At least that's why I give him credit against Aston Villa, because when we was 2 down at halftime, I was saying that I came on here at halftime. I said it could be 3 or 4 guys. You know, we're fucked. He's gone. He's changed up the system. He's put Kukurea in midfield. Best midfield performance I've seen in like, you know what I'm saying, in Chelsea, barring Caicedo. You know what I'm saying? Number 8 needs to have conversations.
What about Enzo?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Have some respect for your World Cup winner. Have some respect for your World Cup winner. Please.
Don't do that, bro. Please, you guys got a better World Cup winner.
Please,
give me Romero.
Have some respect for your World Cup winner. That's all I ask. It's all I ask. Have some respect, just a bit.
Yeah, bring me Romero. But I see Kukurea midfield. It changed everything up. Bear in mind, we're playing with 10 men because that second half, no one wanted to pass the ball to Mudryk. Awful footballer.
That guy, I'm sorry. And the thing is, the worst thing about Mudryk here is I'll get on Twitter after the match here and I'll see a comp. I'm thinking,
this is what I'm saying.
I watched that game, by the way.
War that I'm fighting, bro.
He doesn't want the ball ever. When he gets the ball, he loses it, and he'll do the most he will do is a good turn. That's it. One good turn. He'll do one good turn in the game,
and then you don't know what to do
think,
next.
oh, that's sharp. Then after that, he loses the ball. He doesn't want the ball. He's shy. And the thing is, he's quick. Do you know what I mean? So it's like all he needs to do against any fullback here, bar maybe Kyle Walker, just knock it. Yeah, and at least try and cross it. But I don't know, bro. That guy's needy.
Do you know what it is? He's a worse version than Werner. And it's fucked to say that. Like, Werner had the heavy first touch. He was a pace abuser. But at least Werner knew how to beat his man, go on the byline and cut it back.
Werner knows where the space is.
Yeah, the basics he could do. Do you know what I'm saying? Even his positioning, he'll find himself in the box, get a scrappy chance. He might miss a couple. But in terms of Werner, in terms of Mudryk, the fundamentals are not there whatsoever. He doesn't know what to do. He's 23. You can't coach that.
Right now, yeah, back in the day, you could say 23 was young, but right now, the way football is and academy is and elite level football is, if you're 23 and you don't have it, bro, they're writing off Højlund already. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe the Prem's not for him, because you know in the Prem, you have to think fast. Maybe you can't think that fast.
Maybe you can't think that fast. Like, at Wembley against Man City, I was there, yeah? It's the last 5 minutes of the game. Fucking, he's on Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's the last man, yeah? We're trying to play the ball. He's not running in behind. He's asking for ball to feet. You're the fastest player on the pitch. You're not trying to beat Bernardo Silva 1v1.
Didn't he come off the bench as well?
Yeah, he did.
Like, you're before Sterling. But maybe it's a confidence thing, innit? Maybe it's a confidence thing.
Nah, man.
Because he looks like one of them players that if he really gets going, there's something there. Like, you can't lie and say there's not something there. There is something there. Do you know what I mean? There's something. Whatever it is, there's something. Come on, man. There's something there. This guy's saying there's nothing there. The thing is, you know it. There's something. There's something there. Whether it's big or small, there's actually something there. And obviously, that's when you can maybe bring Poch into it and say, Poch, well, you know, you're a manager. You play. You started him. He started the last game. Like, do you know what I mean? He's got some starts on D. Do you know what I mean? You're bringing him off the bench as your plan B. You know there's something there. So get that out of him then.
Nah, it's not like he went out of his way to pick him, though. You see what I'm saying? If he signed him and this is what's happening, fair enough. They gave him. They had a chance. You know, we had a chance to sign Neymar, and they said no. We want to
be realistic. He'd be injured.
But I'd rather Neymar for 15 games than what we've got from Mudryk this season. I'll let you know that for free.
Nah, bro.
Vial Felix, we said nah. It's criminal. But I want to play a game with you.
Let's go.
So basically, Spurs player this season. Who would you go for firstly?
Player this season. In terms of consistency, Porro, Udogie, Vicaria, one of them three. Maybe I'd say, to be fair, with Vicaria, as much as I really like him, and obviously, you know, being successor to Lloris, maybe not because of his quality, but just because of his like longevity in the team, it's always going to be hard to like come in as a goalkeeper. Like we haven't thought about Lloris once. Do you know what I mean? You know, like for example, with United, every week is like, oh, De Gea would have saved that, De Gea this, De Gea that. I think we haven't thought about Lloris once, and that's the biggest testament to Vicaria's performance is this season.
Even that's mad that you say that, because when Petrovic makes mistakes, the first thing we say is he's not better than Mendy.
Exactly.
Some people say he ain't even better than Kepa, which is mad.
And the question, how's Vicaria on the ball? He's very good. Left foot, right foot. He takes the ball under pressure. Like he's very, very good. Obviously, Udogie, everybody's been seeing his performances. I feel like he's going to grow more into his role. He did like an interview maybe about 4 or 5 months ago talking about like how Ange has him playing. You know how Ange inverts his fullbacks and they both play midfield. He's saying that it's an uncomfortable thing for him to do, but like the coaches are helping him. And I feel like if he can master that, he'll be a top left back. But Porro, for me, he's just absolutely quality. He's on the ball, he's quality. Positionally, he's quality. Obviously, over the last couple of months, he's slowed down a bit, but the whole team has slowed down a bit. So I would say one of them three. Obviously, Romero, I love Romero like with all my heart, but you know that guy's got like a bozo gene that he can't really help. Van der Ven, obviously,
you need guys like that sometimes, man.
I don't know, not a centre back, not your most senior centre back, man. If the thing is, when Van der Ven grows into his role,
that's what it is.
When Van der Ven grows into his role, that's when you can have Romero just being a lunatic. Like for example, against Arsenal, like. I watch Tottenham games with my dad, innit? Sometimes like we just say, look at Romero. Like sometimes like I think he sees red. Like you know them like when they chase the ball with the red blanket and then the ball's just sometimes I genuinely think that's Romero. I think he just sees red and he just sees the ball and he doesn't see anything else. And so then even for his goal, me and my dad looking like, what's Romero doing? Then he wins the ball and then he scores, and it's like, I think Ange said it after the game. It's like he needs to put what's in Romero and some of these players, because you can see Romero's like one of them kids in school that hated losing. Even if he's in centre back, he's like, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, man went up top, innit? He basically went up top and said, "Fuck this, bro. I'm getting a goal."
What do you think of Brennan? The thing is, I think I saw Coach Cam's tweet, and that's exactly what I think. Brennan Johnson is doing exactly what he should be doing. Do you get it? He's not like this winger that's going to get the ball from deep, take it past two men, maybe go on a crazy run. But like against Arsenal, he went on the right for like, I'll say the last 20 minutes, and he was doing what we know he can do: get the ball, knock it past someone and cross it. At the end of the day, you're my winger. We don't have proper 1v1 demons like that you can say, all right, go on, beat him. But for Brennan to get into the byline and get a decent crossing, that's all I want for him. Obviously, that's where we need to improve. And obviously, in the last like 15 minutes against Arsenal, that's where you can see the lack of quality. The balls into the box were just awful. Like, you get Richarlison on finally, it's like, just give him something to work with, give him a chance. But the balls into the box were just awful. And obviously, that's where we need to upgrade. But for Brennan Johnson, is a player that I didn't want, but
how much was he? 50 million.
Yeah, I think it was around that.
Nah, you're being a bit too generous there, bro. I can't lie. He has not made sense for that price tag.
Yeah, he hasn't made sense for the price tag, but you're buying Brennan Johnson. So when you buy Brennan Johnson, it doesn't, just because we bought Brennan Johnson for 50 mil, it doesn't mean he's going to become a different player. Do you get it? We've got him now. Do you know what I mean? I can't complain that we've got him. Like, I didn't want him, especially for 50 mil. I think we could have got better, but we've got him now. So the least you can do is do what you should be doing. Do you know what I mean? And he's doing what he should be doing. I think maybe my answer would change if we had a worse season. Then it's like, oh, can you see me?
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh yeah, waste of money, this, that. And it probably was a waste of money. But all in all, I think he's doing what he should be doing. He's getting a few goals. He's got a few assists. Like, I don't really see him in the future as a starting player. But to see what I've seen off the bench, if we had more quality in that position, I'd be more than happy for him to be a squad player.
So you say your player of the season was what, Porro?
Yeah, I'd say Porro.
I'll say Palmer for us.
Oh yeah, that's a no-brainer. That guy's special. Like, I think I wanted him to play against Arsenal so bad. I know you lot got popped against Arsenal, but I think obviously they've been talking about the Palmer versus Saka thing, and I think Palmer is just levels. Like, he's just levels. Like, you lot have a gem in your hands, and I feel like you need to be careful. Obviously, how long have you got his contract for?
9 years.
You lot have been gilling all these man.
But he's the only one that's worthy of staying there for this long, bro. Look, we got Mudryk for 9 years. Mudryk signed a 1-year extension as well.
Isn't Enzo on like a 10-year contract?
Yeah, Enzo signed a 1-year extension too. He's on that 10 basically.
What was that extension about? Because you lot got him for like, what, 8 years, and then you did like a 9-year extension the year after you got him. What was that for? Like, more money?
Yeah, it's to amortize the costs, innit? These guys are Lupo FC, innit? So it's just to spread the costs of his contract a bit longer. Yeah. So who would you say is an unsung hero?
I'd say Sarr. I think that guy is quality. Obviously, he's not the profile. I think I was speaking to one of my boys about Sarr versus what do you call it? Who's that Man United midfielder, the young boy, Kobe. I was speaking about and there are two different types of midfielders, and the type of midfielder that Sarr is means that you're not going to see him the way you see Kobe Mainoo. You know, you see Kobe Mainoo like cute touches, nice passes, tight spaces. He knows how to get out of it. Like, he plays like a seasoned professional. But with Sarr, I feel like one thing that makes him very good is like his energy. Do you know what I mean? So he'll be anywhere. Tackling's perfect. His passing's even improving. His positional awareness for his young age is very, very good. So
how old is he?
I'd say maybe like 21.
No way.
Yeah, bro, he's a YG.
I didn't know he plays like he's a grown man. I didn't know he was that young.
Bro, like, I feel like he's somebody that can grow into like a proper midfielder, and I feel like that's someone that we need to keep. I think he signed a new contract. Yeah, he's 21.
That's mad.
Yeah. I think he signed a new contract, like 5 years or so. But yeah, I'd say unsung hero Sarr for sure.
Barring the Brennan Johnson, yeah. I do feel like you guys have made very good. Like, your recruitment's been very good. Vicario, wonderful signing. Van der Ven, another one, quality. So like, and it's just the Brennan Johnson one really fucks it up. Saw quality. Hoy being at the time, I think was good. I think it's a bit. You guys have kind of outgrown him now.
Yeah, for sure.
He shouldn't be there anymore. My unsung hero is Caicedo. I think Caicedo was unfortunately grouped alongside Daddy Yankee, and every time Enzo has a bad performance, he holds corn for it because they're both big money signings together. And I don't think the pivot of them two actually works alongside each other. But you've seen Caicedo without Enzo against Everton and with Aston Villa, and he looks like an 150 million pound signing. He literally carries the
do you think
back.
that do you think that he's got more in his locker?
Definitely, because we're just literally using him as a DM. I think he's a box-to-box midfielder.
But it's like you have to. But to be fair, I feel like you have to let him sit there, otherwise your midfielder's like Man United.
Yeah, he has to. He's sacrificing a lot of his game to accommodate the likes of Gallagher and Enzo, for sure.
To be fair, the reason I can agree with you because people haven't been talking about Caicedo much this season, even though I feel like he's the one. He's literally the unsung hero. Like, if you see the best parts of Chelsea, is because Caicedo is doing his job like to a high standard. So I can agree with that.
Even when the bad games, though, yeah, it's literally him controlling the midfield by himself, doing three man's job. Because Enzo's like more of a luxury player. He's similar to the Pogba situation where he's not going to.
What's the problem with Enzo? Let's get to the bottom of this. Because when I see Enzo, yeah, he's not at the standard that he should be. 100%. Like you want to play for a big six team. Like, you need to do more. You need to take the game. But when I see him, I don't see him do things that bad. I feel like his passing is very good. Like, maybe positionally, he could help Caicedo a bit more. But like, what do you want to see from him, and what are you not seeing from him?
For me, Enzo is very much a one-trick pony. He's good at long-range passing. That's his bread and butter. Well. What'd you say?
Short passing as well.
But lately, from what I've seen, especially when it comes to Enzo as well, in terms of build-up, he's a ghost. He doesn't show up when it comes to building up. These are your strengths. Deep lying, you should be the guy coming to collect the ball from the first phase and dictating tempo.
But that's what I see him do. No joke.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that.
I see him do that. I actually see him pick up the ball from the centre back and play a long pass, long pass.
You say that, and then I look at it against Wembley, against Man City in Wembley. He had less touches than Petrovic. This is criminal. You know what I'm saying? And so on top of that, he doesn't track back. He's a very much a luxury player without many of the luxuries. He doesn't do anything. You know, as a luxury player, I say, like, I use Pogba as an example. Pogba never used to track back. Pogba wouldn't operate in the first phase.
Yeah, but don't forget,
you put the ball in Pogba's feet, he's making magic happen.
Pogba had Herrera and Matic, bro. Like, they did the hard work for him. Do you get it? So you've mentioned that he's a luxury player, yeah? But you don't have the luxury of having a luxury player, so you have to kind of understand what, like, that he can't be this guy. He can't be this guy running up and down, collecting the ball, popping up in the final third. He can't really be that guy. And obviously, I've said at the beginning, I know like he can do much more. Like, he should be doing much more. But I don't see him being that bad.
What's the difference in terms of us defensively? The reason why our midfield is just getting slotted out is because he doesn't work. He is the laziest player off ball. He's overweight. In my opinion, I don't think he has the physical demands to be playing as a midfielder in the Premier League. That's just me being honest with you. It reminds me of Jorginho. It reminds me of Jorginho. Like, I feel like Ndombele is a perfect example. Like, that's what it is. He's literally, for 105 million, you cannot be a midfielder, which all you can do is put passes around, blood.
So I said we could have him for 100 million. Don't worry, we got Skip.
That's rude.
So what you think? But the thing is, you're gonna have it to get it. So you have to deal with it, buddy. You have to deal with it.
But my issue is what I've realized a long time ago, and I've been saying this since Old Trafford. Yeah, he reminds me very much of Jorginho. They got very much the same physical limitations. You know, if you put the ball in their feet, you will probably get the same thing. Jorginho, in my opinion, his IQ is a bit better. Defensively, interceptions, winning the ball back, Jorginho's better at that. But that probably come with time. We need to play a back three similar to what we did with Jorginho. And, you know what I'm saying, we protect his limitations.
Back three business, man.
What'd you say?
Forget this back three business.
No, well, we have to go. If we want him to be at his best and we have to build a team around him, we need to run a back five.
So what, you don't think, obviously, when Lavia's fit next season, you could do Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo?
Okay, then what threat do we have going forward? Enzo can't shoot. His final ball isn't quality.
True.
You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? This is that's why it pisses me off with these Tony Cruz comparisons. Tony Cruz could strike a ball. Tony Cruz's final ball is insane. Enzo is like the pass before the final ball. That's what his thing is.
It's true.
You get what I'm saying? So, the fact that we
I think
got
you need to. I just
him,
think you need to cut him just a bit of slack, just a bit.
I don't know.
We'll see next season. Yeah?
Imagine having a Jorginho, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone in the fan base is cooking Jorginho. It's split in half.
True.
There's a civil
That's
war
one thing
over
I can agree
Jorginho.
with.
We get rid of Jorginho for 10 million, send him to a rival. We replace him with somebody who's exactly like him for 105 million, actually worse than him for 105 million. And then the whole fan base is talking about this player like he's Fabregas, when that's not even his game. It's a mugging. But yeah, as I was saying, my unsung hero, I would say, is Caicedo. Most improved player, I would say Conor Gallagher. Who would you have as your
Gallagher? Your captain.
He might be one of yours soon.
I don't want him. I don't know why Ange is obsessed with this guy.
No,
Ange wants him so badly.
Trust me, he's a good player, man.
He's a good player, but he's not better than what we have.
In terms of my man does 2 or 3 jobs on the pitch while he's playing.
But we don't need him to do that. We don't need him to. Cool. Let's say we have a midfield. Basuma obviously is a bit shaky, but Bentancur, Sarr, and Madders. What does he need to do then?
Bentancur is hardly fit though.
What he has been. He came off a big injury and he's been fit ever since.
And in terms of Madders, we're gonna talk about that. Don't worry. What's going on there, bro?
We'll talk about that. Let me get my breath, bro. I can't go into that straight away.
But yeah, in terms of Gallagher, the roles that he can put, like anywhere on the pitch you play him, he will do that role at the best of his ability. I'm not saying he'll do it at an elite level, but he will die on that pitch for the team. You know what I'm saying?
The thing with Gallagher, yeah, one thing I don't understand is, I understand why you wouldn't get rid of him, and I don't think you should, because I feel like a lot of the problems you have is because you got rid of players that know Chelsea. For example, the Mounts, even Havertz. He was there for a couple years, or few years, but he knew Chelsea. Do you get it? Like, Reece James is hardly ever fit. You've got all these men playing for you that don't even know the badge. They don't even know who you are. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's why he's captain right now, bro. The only reason he's captain is because he runs around and he fights for the badge. You get it? So I don't think you should really be getting rid of someone like Gallagher, really.
No, that's spot on. But you know, it is, in terms of Gallagher, it's pure profit, man. That's what it is. Our team's been killed for the pound. No, like it's sad. But you look at the likes of Ian Matson, he's getting shipped. You know, Chalobah's probably getting shipped. Broja, thank fuck, he's finally going. You know, Gallagher, like it's a shame, but that's what it's come to. That we need these guys gone to balance the books. That's how our business model works. But
well, you Chelsea fans are hating Havertz, yeah.
Yeah, fuck him,
bro. He won you the biggest, man. Have some respect. You lot don't respect your winners. Jesus Christ.
No, it's true. I actually get onto our fan base a lot that we don't respect our winners. You know, these like hate Mason Mount, Scots. They hate Jorginho. Enzo's better than Jorginho all of a sudden. No, they hate Tuchel. Yeah, Tuchel shouldn't come back. Bring me De Zerbi. I got the VAR on that one, but I'll put it on the screen later. But I see it all. What these guys do, they're criminals. But as for Havertz, I was defending Havertz until he scored against us and done a papa sound. Like
he did that because of you lot. He did that because of you lot. He did that because of you lot. What do you expect him to do? You lot slander his name, talking worse on him for the last year?
Because you joined a rival. What else is what's gonna happen? We're gonna call you the best player in the world when you join a rival.
Have some respect, bro. Have some respect, bro.
Bro, he joined a rival, bro.
All I can ask, have some respect.
Kovacic would never do that, by the way. Never.
It's true.
But yeah, what would you say? Your most improved player? Who would you say?
Look, they're killing me in the comments and that. Most improved.
I said, aren't Spurs fans still hating on Sol Campbell?
Yeah, but that's different, bro.
What's the difference? Well, we're in mid-table. He's gone and left us for Arsenal. to compete for titles.
Next question. Most improved. Maybe I'd go Sarr again.
So what about Bissouma?
Bro, like he started the season good, but since then he hasn't really showed the levels that he started the season with. To get it, so I can't really give most improved when he hasn't kicked on from his start. The start of the season, bro, I thought he was going to be a world beater, bro. But bro, he hasn't kicked on, man. It's like I feel like the team and the manager, even though they wouldn't admit it, I feel like they've kind of signed out from this season. As I said, as a Spurs fan, I've seen what I wanted to see from Ange. And now I don't even think they're dying for Champions League, because me personally, I'm not dying for Champions League. I feel like it's kind of like, all right, we've seen what we can do. We've seen that we've got a manager that we can believe in. Let's go into the summer window, get some players, and then we go again like next season. And that's kind of the way I look at it. Obviously, with Arsenal, you saw the last like 30 minutes. There was some fight there. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what Ange's installed into the team. But to start the way with, like, to give away the chances that we did shows that we're not focused on like being as compact as we were at the beginning of the season. So maybe I put that Bissouma's performances down to the fact that.
Would you say that? Because what I've heard is you're saying a lot of we started well, but we dropped off. Would you not just put that towards new manager bounce, though?
Nah, because I feel like there's a new manager bounce. Like, for example, with Nuno, we won our first 3 games when we probably shouldn't have. Do you know what I mean? With Conte, we won.
I forgot you had Nuno.
Exactly. With Conte, we won some big games at the beginning when we shouldn't have. Even with Mourinho, I remember the new manager bounce at West Ham. But the 3 things that those things have been different to Ange is that with Ange, we've seen how we're playing. To get it, even when we've played bad, we've still played the Ange way. To get it, so it's like, I wouldn't say it's new manager bounce, because this is the way we play now. Do you know what I mean? Whether we win or lose, to get it, even to go to, I always liken it to the Etihad one and maybe United when we had everybody out, we had all our Africans at AFCON, and it's like we're looking at this thinking, core blimey. Do you know what I mean? But to actually go out there with Emerson Royal and Ben Davies as centre backs and still play that way, I wouldn't say that's new manager bounce. I would say that's more, okay, this is what he's instilled into the team and it's good coaching. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, obviously hindsight is a beautiful thing, and we could be sitting here this time next season in exactly the same position, and then I'm looking at it like, oh, was that a fluke? But for what I've seen now, I can only judge on what I've seen now this season. I feel like we've got a distinct way of playing, and the players all understand it, and the manager knows what to do, and everyone in the club is behind it. Do you know what I mean? I think now it's like the conversation will be a bit uncomfortable just because we haven't really had the greatest 2024 towards the end of the season. We're not really fighting for anything. It's kind of like, all right, cool, when the season's done, we go again. Do you know what I mean? But as I said, and you ask any Spurs fan at the beginning of the season what they wanted to see, and it's exactly what we saw this season, like to start, like to as a breath of fresh air. Since Poch, it's been dire, bro.
I lost my train of thought for a second. In terms of what you're saying, cool style of play, this and that, you're sounding like the guys we crashed, the De Zerbi stands. Now, one thing Chelsea fans say a lot to us is, if De Zerbi was our manager, at least the performances we're having, we would have a style of play. We'll know exactly how we want to play, etc. Some of them even say, if we were to replace Pochettino with the injury situations, would be in the same position you guys are in the league, maybe above you. How do you feel about that statement?
So about that statement, I just think that this is season 1. Do you get it? So, for example, I was watching Saeed and Nuruddin yesterday, yeah, and they've been consistent with since I don't know how long in terms of good football. And for me, it's the first season. Do you get it? I wouldn't be saying the same thing next season. Next season, I'm going to say, all right, you need to push yourself. We haven't won a trophy in how long? We've seen that you know how to play football. Now do something. But for me, this season was always about, bro, towards the end of Conte's era, it was just the worst thing on earth. Towards the end of Mourinho was the worst. Nuno was bad. We haven't seen good football, been happy, like watching the team since Poch. Do you know what I mean? So this first season is 100% about good football. And I understand what you're saying in terms of, oh, it's not about the results. I just want to see good football. But for me, this season wasn't about the results. I just didn't want, because, bro, like, Ange said it, like, oh, yeah, cool. The press are always asking him about Champions League and finishing top 4. And he's like, wait, Spurs have been finishing Champions League over the last 10 years consistently. Just last year we was in the Champions League. It means nothing, bro. So you can fight for top 4 and get into the Champions League and get knocked out in the round of 16. Then what? Do you know what I mean? I think it's more about, all right, start with good football, start with the principles, and then move on from there. So this season, I'm definitely happy with the football I've seen or the direction we're going. I'm not going to have the same requirements for next season and say, oh yeah, I just want to see good football because I saw that last year. Now it's time to build on that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
you see what you're talking about the Champions League, bro. You're acting like it's completely out of the window. You got 2 games in hand.
Yeah, but that's
and it's 7 points. So if you win your 2 games in hand, is a point away.
Yeah, but bro, I understand that, but that's not what's important to me. Yeah, if we get it, jolly good. But even the way I look at it, yeah, it's like, bro, when I think the game week where City played Madrid and Arsenal played Bayern, I was watching that Champions League, and I was thinking, we've got a long way to go. These teams are of like good quality, bro. Like they're good quality teams, and we're not at that level yet. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's all well and good saying, yeah, we're in the Champions League, but like you have to earn
better players, though, no?
Bro, that's all a myth, bro. Like all of that better player stuff is all a myth, bro. Because at the end of the day, if you want a player and you're gonna go and get a player, you're gonna get him regardless, whether in Champions League or not. We play. It's different if you play for your Villarreal or something. You play in the Premier League, bro. Money talks more than anything. Do you know what I mean? So you offer the club what 80 mil, 90 mil, and you give him what 150, 200 grand a week. He's coming, well, regardless of whether you're in Champions League or not. So even though Champions League isn't touching distance, to me, that's not what's important, innit? Even for me, I look at it like Europa League is more realistic. Do you know what I mean? You can balance Europa League with the Prem, and you can actually have a real go of going to win the Europa League. Right now, we are not at the level to go and say, yeah, we're going to challenge for the Champions League. What's the point, bro? You do the whole group stages, you get up, maybe you get a round of 16, a nice round of 16 against Porto, and then you win, and then now you're in the quarterfinals playing one of the big boys, and you're not at the level. Like, I'm not going to kid myself and say, yeah, I'm at the level like Arsenal did. Oh, yeah, we're going to smash Bayern, this, that. I'm not going to kid myself, but obviously for me, Europa is something.
But this mentality is rattling me, because you see what you're saying? You sound like a lot of the fans at my club. What's happening is we're adopting this loser mentality.
Bro, but it's not about loser mentality.
I would rather finish 10th in the league and win an FA Cup instead of finishing.
I didn't say that.
Because it's a trophy.
Bro,
that's just me personally. I want to win.
Firstly, not to shit on Spurs, yeah, but Chelsea is very different. You don't have a culture of winning the big trophies to get it. So if somebody, a Chelsea fan, was saying the same thing that I was saying, then that's very, very different. But for me, bro, you're saying a loser mentality, like we've come from winning the Premier League, we've come from winning the Champions League, bro. We haven't won those things. Obviously, an FA Cup would be, oh yeah, we've got a trophy. Do you know what I mean? But for there's no point of being in the Champions League. What is the point of like fighting tooth and nail the season before? Because that's what we did under Conte, bro. When Son won the Golden Boot, yeah, we finished like what, 4th. The season was dire. We didn't win anything. We said, yeah, we got into the Champions League. The next season, Champions League was meaty. Then the next season after that, we didn't finish in the top 4. So what's the point of the Champions League? Do you know what I mean? At least if you have like steady progression of, cool, even if we do finish 5th, yeah, it's been a fairly good season in terms of where we was, what we wanted to see, and what we have seen. We go again next season, cool, we're in a Europa League. Let's try and go and win the Europa League, and let's try and pick up maybe like a domestic cup, and let's try and finish in the top 4 now. That's where like my expectations will lie. But me saying, oh yeah, let's get top 4 after not winning anything this season. Champions League for what? Like for what? You're not going to win it. Like, be realistic. You can win it, but you're not going to win it. Like,
you know, this really surprises me, because the year that you guys went into the final, you had no expectation whatsoever. Probably your greatest moment as a Spurs fan was being in the Champions League that year. So it really surprises me when you're saying you don't want to be in the Champions League. We're not winning.
Bro, we had a squad, yeah. Like, I'm not saying that we don't have that now because we're getting towards there, but we had a squad that our fans could believe in. We had a squad that we had a prior 3-4 years of, all right, this is our squad and we can compete against anyone. Do you know what I mean? So even though it's like there's no expectations, I had more faith in that squad that, cool, if they can get us to that point. Do you know what I mean? We were going into Ajax that were tearing everybody up in that Champions League, and I was confident about that. Maybe after the first leg, they beat us 1-0, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be sticky. Second leg, second half, first half 2-0, 3-0 in aggregate, And it's like you still feel like, come on, Poch, you can do something. Come on, these boys, like you've seen Harry Kane, you know what Son can do, Dele Alli, you know what these men can do. So I feel like that's a completely different time to now.
Maybe not even just then though. Not even just that campaign. The Inter Milan one again with Gareth Bale. You guys lost that one, fair enough. But that was
but bro, that was
coming of age.
Yeah, but bro, come on, bro. The Inter Milan one is like, oh, we're happy to be there. Like it's a cup run off adrenaline. That wasn't, oh, we're competing, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like the Inter. I can't believe you're going that far, bro. We weren't.
Because that one was when Gareth Bale became Gareth Bale.
Yes, but it's because of Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale did a Gareth Bale. It's not that Spurs beat Inter Milan. Gareth Bale turned up, bro. We had Crouch up front and that. Like what?
Pavlyuchenko and that.
Come on, bro. Be realistic.
Cool. Let's see. Who's your worst player of the season?
Worst.
I don't feel like you have agendas on any of your players, you know. I think you're like probably the most level-headed, you know.
Do you know what it is, bro? I think if we did this 1 year ago, I would have had so many agendas. For example, even Højbjerg, but even Dyer, for example. But one thing Ange has done is he's come and he's weeded out what isn't good enough to the best that he can, to the standard that he can. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, we were crashing it on Dyer and Sanchez and Emerson every single weekend. Dyer's gone, Sanchez is gone. Emerson is actually putting in fairly decent performances to the standard where you can say, do you know what, you're not starting week in, week out. And when you come on, you're doing okay. You're doing what you should be doing. So I can't stick it on you. Højbjerg, again, last season, the last couple of seasons, really, he was just subject to the most criticism. But now it's like he's out of the firing line. You come on 20 minutes to close the game out. I know he started against Arsenal, and that was a shock to everybody. But like the reason why I don't really have any agendas is because I'm just kind of taking them out the firing line. Do you know what I mean? So if I had to say worst player, it would maybe be I don't know, bro. Like
that's mad.
Worst player.
Dragoson's only played 6 games. I think that's a bit harsh.
Bro, Dragoson is first season in the Prem. He's played like he's only playing because Van der Ven's injured, and he was playing on the left side of centre back. Bro, what do you want him to do, bro? All right, cool. You lot, this guy is 0 points. 0 points. You tell me who you think our worst player has been this season, and tell me why. Go on. Let's hear.
There's even a Spurs fan here. Where is he at?
No, I want this 0 points to tell me. Tell me. I need to hear this.
Timo.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's what I'm saying. With Timo, it's like, bro, like, what is the alternative? Do you get it? It's not like, there's been times he's been through one-on-one. Do better. But I wouldn't say he's been our worst player because there's also been times
you know what? I knew he was a criminal. Yeah, you might be part of the toxic positivity crew because you said Brennan Johnson's been a good signing.
I didn't say he's been a good signing.
Not a good signing, but you said he's done good. He's done everything that I'd want.
I didn't say he's done good. I said he's done what he should be doing. He hasn't been good. He hasn't been bad. That's it. I don't think he's been a bad signing. I don't think he's been a good signing. He's just Brennan Johnson. I wouldn't want him to start in I'm not looking at him like, oh yeah, this is our right mid for the next 3 years, 2 years. Bro, no, this is our right mid now because we don't have any wingers.
No, but he costs £50 million.
Okay, so what would you want him to be doing?
I want him to be at least touching, 15 GA.
Bro, he wasn't even doing that at Forest. I'm not saying I wanted him. I never ever wanted him. But now you brought him in. The manager wanted him. The club wanted him. So it's like he's here now.
There's a standard you need to expect your players to perform at, though. Do you know what I'm saying?
But
you're judging them based on what you think they can do. Based on
but you have to, bro.
You're judging them based on a standard that needs to perform at my club. What's required?
If you ask me now, should we have reinvested that 50 million into another player? I would say 100% yes to get it. But he's here now, so I'm not going to give him unrealistic expectations and say, oh yeah, because we bought you for 50 million and you're starting right mid, I need you to get 20 goals this season. No, you're Brennan Johnson. You're not going to do that. Do you get it? So I'm not going to give him unrealistic expectations because that's when you start like, oh, this guy's rubbish. Get him out of my club. This, that. And it's like, he's Brennan Johnson. He's not going to be starting. If he is starting, that's when them conversations start to happen. But right now, our wingers have been meaty. Kulusevski stepped off the gas. It's like, right now, he's giving us something. He's been bad this season, bro. Even the Spurs fans are turning on him. Right now, it's like, he's doing what he should be doing, bro. Like, at the end of the day, he's doing he's being Brennan Johnson. He's not being a bad Brennan Johnson. He's just being Brennan Johnson. Like, that's all I can ask.
So you ain't got no worse player? I'll put one on your behalf. Then I'll put 2 players. I'll put Modric
Let's see this.
and I'll put Enzo.
No. I want him. Where's this 0
You
points?
want me to put Spurs one?
I want to hear this 0 points. What this guy said.
He said
I haven't heard nearly enough about Brennan Johnson. That's what I'm saying. You don't want me to be here tearing out my hair saying Johnson's bad. Bro, Brennan Johnson is Brennan Johnson. You bought Brennan Johnson. You can't buy Brennan Johnson and expect to have Rafael Leao. Like what? Brennan Johnson, bro. You're saying put Brennan Johnson right now. Brennan Johnson has played better than all your wingers except from Palmer, and Palmer plays centrally. What winger do you have that's played better than Brennan Johnson in terms of attacking to the fullback? In terms of getting close? Yes,
I think Sterling's been better than Brennan Johnson.
Sterling doesn't even start.
The last month he hasn't started.
Bro, he's not
Sterling's been better than Brennan Johnson by far.
He has not been better than Brennan Johnson. No way. No way, bro. No way on earth, bro. That guy stinks.
He has.
Bro, he literally got booed off in what?
No, because we have standards. Because we have standards, bro.
Imagine getting booed off in the FA Cup, bro. No one cares about that.
We have standards. It's different. That's what I'm saying to you. And now you have no standards.
Now they're saying Madueke as well. Like,
Madueke, that might be criminal. It's a mid-off. Johnson stinks.
Bro, I'm not saying he's a world beater. I'm not even saying I want him to start. I'm not saying that he's all right mid. I'm not saying I'm happy with him. But I'm saying I know what we bought. Even though I didn't want it, because I didn't want it, I still know what we bought. So I'm not going to say, I don't want this player. I don't think he's good enough. We're going to spend 50 mil on him. And then now he's here. Now you need to be Rafael Leao because we spent 50 mil on you. Bro, I'll just make my own self upset. Because I know he doesn't have them capabilities.
In terms of biggest flop then, who would you say is biggest flop?
Biggest flop? Probably Werner. Probably Werner, really.
Was you excited about Werner coming?
I wasn't excited about Werner coming, but the way we was playing football towards the beginning of the season, I'm thinking any decent, bro, he's a seasoned professional, German international. He's been in the Bundesliga. He's been in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? It's not hard for him to get chances and get. Do you know what I mean? There's been so many times where Brennan will just fizz it across the box and he'll miss it. Or there's so many chances.
He's a terrible player.
Yeah, so for me, I wouldn't say I was excited for him, but I did expect a bit more.
Oh, wow, not good. We've had a couple of injuries. Timo with his hamstring. We've only 2 or 3 weeks or so left. Timo out for the rest of the season. Ben Davis got a calf injury in the game, and that's him for the rest of the season too. Fuck me.
Who cares, bro? Who cares? The season's over, bro. The season's over. From time Udogi's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that one was painful, man. So let's do a combined 11. Yeah, Spurs and Chelsea.
Are we doing who's fit?
Should we do who's fit? Yeah, because the guys are gonna start putting Reece James and Fofana and Lavia and shit. We ain't seen them all yet. Or should we do based on who's been available this season? 10 plus games. Yeah, who's played at least 10 league games this season?
All right, cool. Go on.
I'll put Vicario in goal. 100%.
Good work.
Porro or Gusto?
Porro, bro. Because Gusto's been good, and that's it. Do you get it? But Porro has been very good.
It's Porro, very close, you know. I'll say Porro, isn't it? I'll say Porro.
Yeah, Porro, bro. I feel like Porro even has more in his locker as well.
Well, this whole back four might be you guys, you know. It's fucked. Because I would put Van der Ven.
Yeah, and
Romero, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you might have the whole back five.
Don't worry, you can have Chilwell left back.
Over you, doggy. Oh, fuck. This is how far we've fallen, guys.
The thing is, you lot might have a lot of the most. What are you gonna put Palmer? What left?
Should we do a 4-2-3-1? I'm putting Caicedo.
Yeah, go on, for sure.
Now, who would you put next to him? Saar.
Bro, it's weird, man, because when we started the season, bro, I was rating all our midfielders. And now it's like, I can't point to one and say, yeah, you've been solid this season. Maybe Saar's been the most consistent in terms of performance levels not dropping. Do you know what I mean? With Madders, when his performance level drops, it drops. With Bentancur, when his performance level drops, he just loses the ball, it drops. But Basuma, he's like the best Basuma wants the ball at all times. Do you get it? When his performance level drops, he doesn't want the ball. And when he doesn't have the ball, you can't do what Basuma does. Do you get it? So if I had to put someone in there, I would definitely put Sarr. But I'd rather put Gallagher instead of Sarr, really. Because I feel like Gallagher's had a better season.
That's fair. Do you know what's crazy? All the rivals respect Gallagher, but our fan base hate him.
Bro, he I think like when you see a player that's actually giving it a go, especially as a rival fan, I might watch Chelsea and think these lot are pants. But then it's like you see one player actually giving it a go, actually all over the pitch, actually like getting stuck in. Maybe I'm one of them fans that I'm not even talking about quality and talking about
that's me. We're Brits, man. We're Brits, bro. You know how it goes, bro. Echo League things, man. You know what I'm saying? Fucking cool. You're saying Kulusevski's been poor. Would we put Palmer on the 10 as a 10 or on the right?
You can put him 10.
Over Maddison?
Yeah. Palmer's had a better season than Maddison, for sure. That's a no-brainer then.
Right.
And then now what are you going to do? Put Brennan Johnson, aren't you? What are you going to do? Put Brennan Johnson?
No.
So you're going to put Madueke?
I'd put Sterling here. I'd put Son up top.
Let's see this one.
Oh, fucking no. Who's playing right wing?
Brennan Johnson, bro. Whether you like it or not.
Richarlison?
Bro, Richarlison cannot play on the right, bro.
Brennan Johnson stocks are crazy.
I told you, bro. It's not. I don't rate him, but he's doing what he should be doing.
No. This is how we're doing it. That's criminal.
Oh, so now you're. But even if
Sterling can play on the right, bro. And I'll give you Richarlison. Literally.
The thing is, alright, cool. Let's talk about Jackson, bro. I don't understand what that guy's problem is, bro. Like sometimes when I see him play, I'm thinking, bro.
As a footballer, like the football he generates is insane.
Bro, I don't know, bro. How? And then in front of goal, bro, he just dies, bro. And it's not even a point of like, you know, like some strikers get half chances and you think, you're a striker, you should be doing more. Bro, clear one-on-one. I think it was against City at Wembley when he was through on goal and like he took it round the keeper, but he just went too wide and then he moved aside.
And then he passed, bro.
So what? Do you think eventually he's gonna find some boots?
I don't think you can teach someone how to finish. You either got it or you don't. I think he's a second striker. If we played with two up top, maybe a Yoker.
What about left winger? Have you tried him there?
He's our only 9, innit? We have no striker. Nkunku's injured. Broja's on a dry loan at Fulham.
Let him play. This is what you do. I figured it out. Poch hired me. Let him play left, Palmer false 9, yeah, and then somebody else on the right, yeah, and then just let him drop in and let them two run like that. Tacticals, you know.
Oh my god. Why that won't even work is because we need someone at the 10. We ain't got bodies like that. Pause. Enzo's injured, Lavia's injured, Ugochukwu's injured, Carney's injured. So we're actually, you get me, it's tough. Palmer false 9 generated a lot of chances against Middlesbrough first leg, but he missed bare chances as well. He was poor.
Middlesbrough,
yeah. That's the only time I've seen him false 9, isn't it? But Jackson, I think if he played with another striker, Gyökeres or something like that, it'd be good. But no. I've got something on the screen here, because now that we're talking on James Maddison. When this brief dropped by Matt Law, Chelsea refused to sign anybody. This was after the Nottingham Forest loss. Mm-hmm. Chelsea refused to sign anybody over the age of 25 this summer, which means Maddison 26 was not considered. At this point, September the 2nd, I think Maddison just won Player of the Month. He was firing. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. You guys were like, oh my gosh, what a steal, 30 million, blah, blah, blah. We was losing our mind. Now, I ask you, what's going on with Maddison?
Matters. The thing is, yeah, I feel like there's sometimes you like a player, do you know what I mean? But maybe you don't watch 36 Leicester games, do you know what I mean? And you just see him turn up against the big six. I remember so many times, maybe one time in the new stadium where he scored one volley, went over the keeper, and that I'm thinking, and then the beginning of the season, it's like what he can do. Do you know what I mean? But maybe we haven't, as Spurs fans, we haven't actually explored or actually seen like his limitations in terms of like when it's not going for you, and like when you're 10, yeah, like you make your bread and butter of certain passes, like breaking the lines, like finding yourself in certain positions, and when it's not happening, bro, that's your work. Do you know what I mean? So, bro, I don't know, man. I just think I could also say, yeah, you could say I'm making excuses. I can also say that it's down to, as I said, like the players kind of checking out for the season, and like no one's really playing at that same intensity that we was at the beginning of the season, where everything was fast paced. I think about when we played you in the first half and when we played Liverpool in the first half, bro. The way he was picking up the ball and spreading it and taking it past 2 or 3 guys, it's like we know he can do that. Everybody knows he can do that, but we're not playing at that same intensity that showed the best James Maddison. Do you know what I mean? So now everything is much slower. It's much more laboured. It's much more, let's take it wide and cross and see what happens. Do you know what I mean? And for him, that doesn't really work because he needs everything to just be fast paced, and then he'll do some quick thinking, play a pass, fast paced. But obviously, that's not always going to happen in the Champions League. You might play an Athletic, yeah, that are just going to sit in and they say, break me down. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's when we're going to be looking at you. You're a 10. Like, what are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? And he's shown us over the last like 5-6 months since he's come back from injury, that he struggles. Like he struggles with low blocks. Like he really, really struggles, and then he forces it. And obviously, at the end of the day, I've seen. Back to my point at the beginning of this stream. Like I've seen what I wanted to see from the team and from Ange this season. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really gonna sit here and say, "Oh nah, Maddison's a flop, man. He's not what we thought." I'm kind of gonna give it till next season, where all right, no excuses now. We've got the players, you've got the manager. We're gonna have a strong window. Now that's when I'm gonna be asking the questions. But obviously, noticeably, there has been a big drop off. Do you know what I mean?
This tweet that I put on the screen, this is a Leicester fan. They said James Maddison from March to May might be the worst footballer to ever exist. These are all Leicester fans in the comments. It's the standard. You can set your clock by it. First third of the season, Messi. Second third of the season, injured. Third part of the season, invisible man. One trick pony goes missing when the going gets tough.
Well, what do you want me to do? Agree with them? I'm not going to agree with them.
I'm just saying, these are Leicester fans who have watched him for the longest time. And if this is how they feel about him, you know what I'm saying? You got to take that to some sort of consideration.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I just think that cool. That's what I said. For me, I would say, yeah, I probably didn't watch all 36 James Maddison games. I knew he's got like an injury record. But for me now, what I've seen at the beginning of this season, that could also be right. Do you know what I mean? That could be something that next season it follows the similar pattern. Then I need to be asking the questions. But for what he's brought to the team and for how we're playing and how he fits in, I'm not really going to take that with anything other than, all right, this is something to know next season if it happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you. In terms of this game, what would you say your predictions are? For me, I'm very interested to see how these players show up. In terms of Europa League, we're on our last legs trying to qualify for that. In my opinion, I think it's a dream at this point. I said it after the Man City game when we all crashed out of the FA Cup. We've got 3 games to play for this season. They're all moral victories. Arsenal, a chance to end their season. Spurs, a chance to end their Champions League push. But hearing you talk about the Champions League already, it don't even sound like you're in for it. And West Ham, because we hate West Ham. But we lost to Arsenal badly. You guys also lost to Arsenal. I think you guys are going to lick your wounds and come for a fight. However, the difference is, it's been reported that Pochettino's job is dependent on the result he gets tomorrow. Meaning, if he loses the game, more is very, very, very likely he will not return as manager. In terms of our Big Six record, it's very fugazi. Everyone talks about, oh yeah, Chelsea and when it's big games, we have 2 wins. United and you guys, the two worst teams in the Big Six. So,
and we had 9 men.
And you had 9 men. So, it is spooky. In the United game, you could argue we had 2 penalties that weren't penalties. We was 3-2 down at home in the 95th minute. So, yeah, I don't know. The fact that Poch's job's on the line, I've seen there's been reports that a lot of players would die for Pochettino, the likes of Cucurella, Modric, Gallagher, etc., are willing to put their hearts on the line. I don't know. I see a win, especially a home record against you guys is pretty decent, but I think you guys are gonna want to come with a fight after the Arsenal game.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think I definitely do feel that. I think after the Arsenal game, I feel like after the first half, I feel like maybe some fans and maybe some players were even thinking, "Oh, this is Arsenal. This could be peak." And then I feel like they went to the change room, had their little talk, and then they were like, "You know what? Let's go for it." And then in the last 20 minutes, I think towards the end of the game, they were kind of kicking themselves, thinking there was actually something here for us. Do you know what I mean? Van der Ven disallowed goal, Romero hitting the post, Romero with 2 headers. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was chances there. I feel like the fact the players even said it. For the large majority of the game, we dominated the ball. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, it means nothing if you're not creating big chances. But I feel like towards the end of the game, they were kicking themselves, thinking, do you know what? We could have got something out of that game. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like they're coming into this Chelsea game, especially because of what happened at the beginning of the season. I know for a fact they haven't forgotten now. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely feel like they're coming to play football.
Yeah, because you could argue we kind of ended your season.
You probably did, bro. You put that like even up to our disallowed goal. I think it was like 15 minutes, bro. Peppered.
Yeah.
And then, bro, I think it was in the space of like 10 minutes. We got the pen, Romero red card, Van der Ven hamstring, Maddison off. Second half, Dogu red. It was peak, bro.
Because I remember you hitting me up on Twitter at the time. You was gassed. I remember I was just airing you like, and it just peak, flipped. The way it flipped was fucked.
Bro, it was peak, bro.
You let Jackson score a hat trick. You know how mad that is?
Bro,
in hindsight.
It was peak, bro. It was peak. Like, towards the end of the game, I think it was more than anything, I was just laughing. To make matters worse, we was playing that stupid high line on the halfway line. I'm thinking, what is going on here? Like, let me tell you what made it worse. I think when it was like 2-2 or something, yeah, and Eric Dyer scored the disallowed goal. You remember?
Yeah.
I was thinking, no way, and then it was offside and that.
I was, bro, I froze for a second. When that goal went in, I was like, fuck. Yeah, Jackson scored 3 out of possible 7. Facts. Someone in the chat asked, what made you decide to become a Spurs fan?
Obviously, my dad and that. Obviously, I used to live around there. That was my local team and that. You know, I'm not like you fans that live in whatever. I support Man United. So obviously I was going there Bears from young and that. Jermaine Defoe, favourite player. You know, the usual. So it's not a fluke.
Yeah, you guys were heritage at one point. Under Harry Redknapp, man, with Defoe, Pavlyuchenko, that front two. Yeah,
bro, sometimes over the last 5 years, I was looking at this team thinking, do you know what? I liked it better when we had the phone, Robbie Keane and these, man, Nico Crankcher. I was looking at some of these players like Eric Dyer, Sanchez, just doing some crazy thing, bringing off Brian Gill from the bench. Like, oh, bro, it's been peak, bro. That's why I'm here talking about Spurs and you lot say, no standards. Firstly, what standards am I meant to have? Secondly, do you know what it's been? Do you know what it's been like for the last 4 years, bro? Conte, bro, off the Southampton away, bro. That guy actually hated us, bro. He hated us, bro. It's like, and we hated him. Everybody hated each other. We hated him. We hated the players. Everything was just peak. So it's like now, bro, anyone would see it as a breath of fresh air if you'd like had that experience. Like, cool, you got a manager that's very articulate. You can understand what he's saying. The players are clearly behind him. He's had a couple of good windows. Do you know what I mean? Levy finally looks like, yeah, cool. He's gonna put his money where his mouth is. Fingers crossed, because if he doesn't, then we're going to be in the same position. So at the end of the day, this is just one season that's a decent season based on what we wanted to see, and next season we have to go for something. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. Trust me, I understand. Yeah, but it's like, what's like? What I'm scared of is us becoming like you guys, where we're just we're just stuck in mediocrity for a long time. There's nothing to play for. It's just moral victories. Oh, because what next season, if it was to finish 5th, some of these guys will turn around and say, "Oh yeah, we finished 5th. This process is working." You guys need to win a trophy at some point, even a Carabao Cup.
But for sure, I think it's different with you lot for sure, because you lot have a recent history of winning big honours, a recent history. Do you get it? So your fans have no reason to say to speak the same way I speak. Do you get it? How can I, for example, if you have a good season next season, and then the season after you're in the Champions League, and then your fans say, "Oh, we have an expectation to go for this Champions League and even win it," but you've got a leg to stand on because you won it like what 4 years ago. Then it would be obviously it was like 2 years ago, but then it would be 4 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, yeah, next season we have to go and win the league next season." Like, you kind of have to build them things, and obviously, I feel like it breaks the duck when you can win smaller things and you can get little things like when it was in the FA Carabao Cup final and then sacking Mourinho the week before, and then it's like
you should have not done that. That was criminal, though.
Exactly, bro. So it's like I'm at the end of the day, yeah, you lot are in a position where you've won things, and I'm not. So I'm not going to have the same. I'm not going to say, "Oh, Ange, you need to come here and win the league." Do you know what I mean? I haven't seen that, so that's not going to be my expectation based on even the last 4 years of just pure pants football all round. Unhappiness, bad players, bad managers, can't even speak English.
One thing I noticed you've said a lot, in the stream is Eric Dyer criticisms. Now you see him second leg at the Allianz against Arsenal, win the man of the match. You see him today against Real Madrid. He looked like their most competent defender. What's going on there,
bro? But I'm not going to allow you to rewrite history. Yeah, but Eric Dyer was with us 8-9 years. What you see is what you get. You get it. There's some players like, for example, I look at the likes of Rashford. Yeah, I've been saying for the last 2 seasons he needs to leave Man United. That marriage is over. Do you get it? So he can go now to Inter and just be cool, taking on his man, scoring goals. Do you get it? Right now, Eric Dyer's in a different environment. He's got a manager that has full belief in him. He's got a team around him that could support him. He can get the ball and pass 5 yards to Kimmich, or pass 5 yards to Goretzka, or pass 5 yards to Davies, or just pass back to Neuer. Do you know what I mean? He's surrounded by comfortability. Obviously, a large reason why he was bad is because, bro, who's going to pass to Eric, Højbjerg, Ben Davies, Skip? They're just going to lose the ball, pass it straight back to him, and then now he's on pressure and he's going to kick the ball out. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, in his own performances, he hasn't. There's been so many times, bro. I don't even want to go back into that, bro. He's been with us for what? Literally, I think it was 10 years or 9 years, bro. The things I've seen that guy do, there's no one could tell me. In fact, I'm even happy for him, bro, because there's no way it would have got any better at Spurs. Like, now you've gone to Germany, yeah, go and enjoy your football. Yeah, Bayern Munich, you're lucky to be there. He's only there because Harry Kane's there. He just got on a blow and he's like, "Darren, you want to come? I can get you here, you know." Do you know what I mean? He's there. Enjoy your football, bro. In Germany, you've done what you've done for us. Get on with it. I'm not rewriting history with that guy. That guy was pants. That guy knew it. Bro, you could see, like, you know, like when United fans talk about, Ten Hag wanted to get rid of Maguire, but the club wouldn't sell him, this, that. I don't ever see that as an excuse, because we had Dyer and we was playing Emerson Royale and Ben Davies centre back.
Yeah. If you wanted to get rid of him,
if you want to get rid of him, bro, you get rid of him, bro. Like, those are the two. Like, obviously, there's a lot of players that we still need to weed out, but those are two main players that for the last 5-6 years they've been on the face of like some hammering, some embarrassing defeats, and every Spurs fan knew that we need to get rid of Dyer, Sanchez, and all of these other guys, Ben Davies, Emerson Royale. We need to get rid of all these guys and freshen up.
Are there anyone in your is there like a section of your fan base who are like, who question Ange in terms of his failure to adapt?
Naturally,
Dyer's doing well elsewhere.
I wouldn't. It's less about Dyer doing well elsewhere and more about his failure to adapt. And naturally so, because, bro, you know, like, sometimes it's glaring. Obviously, I go to the Chelsea game at the beginning of the season where, bro, we've got 9 men and we're playing on the halfway line. Like, anyone looking at that, like, the commentators were back. I was back, but I was laughing, do you know what I mean? And I think I saw a pundit, I don't know who, but he was talking about that's kind of how you instill like an identity. Do you know what I mean? Because you know that regardless of what happens, this is the way we play. So that means you can go into so many situations and know that you're strong in what you believe in. Do you know what I mean? And that personally, that's the way I look at it. I look at it as this is the way he wants us to play. This is what his identity is. Maybe when we mastered that, he's going to look at different ways to try and do that. Or if we don't have this player, we can play a different type of way. But I'm not really critical on. Obviously, there's sometimes as a fan you can only be like, why are you doing this? Like, why is this happening? Like, put some defenders back, but then it's like you're asking him to not be what you want him to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you tell Ange, all right, just play a low block this game. Well, that's not Ange. Do you know what I mean? And it's like the times where he doesn't play a low block and we're playing like we're pressing high and we've got a high line and we're creating chances. That's what you love. But that is Ange. Do you get it? So it's like I don't know, bro. You can't take the good without the bad. That's what I'll say. And I feel like the bad will improve to a point where, okay, you can see that this is pulling off. Obviously, this is just hopeful thinking in it. Do you know what I mean? It could be a thing where this is continuing. You know how the Prem, like, it takes about a season for all the other teams to catch on to what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So naturally, I feel like there is a section of the fans that sometimes look at games and say, what is this guy doing? Or just hold some defenders back or stop playing this high line. But the way I look at it is, cool, we've got a manager who this is his identity. We've seen it work numerous times this season, and this is what we want to see as fans. So, as I said, you can't really take the good without the bad, so you have to embrace the bad.
You know, if I look at the most elite tacticians in the world, Tuchel, when he prepares depending on his opposition, yeah, he might do the 3-4-3, but it's different. Stylistically, he's adapting based on the opposition. Even Graham Potter, to an extent. Sometimes you switch to a back five. Sometimes it's two up top. Sometimes it's a 4-3-3. Sometimes it's a 4-2-3-1, depending on your opposition. I prefer a manager to do that, where I know, okay, you're willing to adapt. I don't care about consistent style of play. Well, as a Chelsea fan, at least, you know, we never came from pretty football. We used to sit back, be solid defensively, and in 3 passes, score a goal on a counter attack, and then sit back for the rest of the game. That's always been us. So when it comes to the style of play gimmicks, it don't really move me. Before I wrap up, I want to post this for the chat so you guys can understand where TP's come from, why he's so positive.
I don't know, because they are used here. They're used here. Don't play for something important. Yeah. And, they don't play. They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under.
I can't hear it. I can hear it.
Yeah.
They can't hear it. They say they can't hear it.
This way. Tottenham story is this: 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club.
Bro, I don't want to watch this, bro. This is the worst thing. This is so bad, bro.
I've seen the manager that Tottenham had on the bench. You risk to disrupt the figure of the manager and to protect the other situation in every moment. And now, until now, I try to hide the situation, but now no, because I repeat, I don't want to see what I have seen today, because this is unacceptable. Also for the respect for the fans.
Bro, stop playing this rubbish, bro.
Well, he's saying the truth.
No, but that's what I'm gonna say. Like he is speaking facts here. But as Spurs fans, the reason why you don't want to hear it is because there's nothing you can do, bro. We know
you got to crash your owners, though.
Bro, there's nothing. That guy's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
It's not about getting him to leave. It's about showing a resistance to his regime. For example, now on the topic of owners, Ian Matson's father says today, he's developing well here and things have not gone well since they changed ownership. A lot at that club also revolves around money, which sometimes seems more important than the club's interests. Wow. It's almost like I haven't been saying this for the whole year now. The pound note. Yeah? The pound note. Cash rules everything around me. Cream.
Your owner isn't, unfortunately, bro, he's not going anywhere.
It's not about getting him to leave. It's about highlighting the things he does wrong, because a large fraction of the fan base are soaked up in his delusion. Hence why I crashed the likes of Enzo Fernandez. He's the face of the project. You're up number one. I have to crash you. That's why there's guys out here that say they want De Zerbi over Tuchel coming back, or the same guys that made excuses for Tuchel getting sacked for Graham Potter. The same guys that crashed Poch today were the same guys that were saying aura. All of these big accounts that mislead you guys. I've been here from day one, consistent. Look at this. CFC Drew, criminal. One of the biggest criminals on this app.
Bro, that's one thing I'll say, yeah. The thing is, the one thing I'll give you is that you're pointing out these Chelsea fans, and I only see them from like your interactions with them. Do you get it? Bro, the way they flip-flop here, I've never. I used to think Arsenal fans were bad at flip-flopping, but they're just delusional. Chelsea fans are actually flip-floppers. Like, they'll say one thing one week and they'll say another thing another week, and they'll actually put it on their own Twitter for everybody to see.
Bro, do you know what they're saying now? Chalobah's our best centre back now.
Last week was the sassy. I'm sure last week was the sassy.
This is what I'm saying.
Last week was the sassy.
It's insane. So look, Darko asks, if you had to pick between Tuchel or De Zerbi for your next gaffer, who are you picking? I sincerely apologize in advance. I love Tuchel as much as everybody else. De Zerbi.
He literally won you a Champions League.
He won us a Champions League and got sacked for non-footballing reasons, by the way. I love Tuchel, maybe more than most. However, with the new ownership and directors, Tuchel doesn't fit the vision and what they're looking for in a manager. They've hired 3 managers and they've missed all 3. I'm not sure how successful Tuchel would be with all these young players. Also, we know his inability to trust the youth. Mason Mount, by the way, had his best ever moments in his career under Tuchel. He was 22 years old. Tell is a perfect example. Excluding age, the profiles we have don't fit his style of play. Now, I feel like with Zerbi wants to play our squad and profiles, we fit him more. Youth is arguably the most important part of this Blue Core project, and I also trust the Zerbi with the youth more than Tuchel.
Let me ask you a question.
Criminal.
All right, cool. So with Chelsea, we know how Chelsea have been the last 15 years. Yeah. How much of like the DNA of Chelsea in terms of like just winning major honours, whether you got no manager or this manager is 1 season in, winning the Champions League, sacking this manager, winning the Premier League, sacking that manager, winning the FA Cup, sacking that manager. How much do you think that plays a role in terms of your next managerial appointment? Do you know what I mean? Because are you willing to go 3 years without a Champions League and or Premier League for what? Like, for what would you want to see if you had to go 3 years without it?
Why a lot of our fans are very much on the Poch out, which I understand. After the 5-0 against Arsenal, I'm not going to stand up for him. I understand. But a large reason why behind all of that is because, you know, we've come from an era where no matter who the manager was, we were winning regardless. We stacked Ancelotti a year after winning the league because he came in quarterfinals in the Champions League. A year after that, we won the Champions League under Di Matteo while sacking a manager mid-season to bring in Di Matteo. But the main consistent was the squad was good enough. We had players that could play. We had an elite spine. Peter Cech, Carvalho, Terry, back 2, solid. Makelele, Lampard, Deco, Ballack. Midfield, Essien. Midfield, solid. Up top, Drogba, Malouda, Kalou, to an extent Torres. Even with the new core that came in with the Hazard, the Oscars, etc. Once again, we had a title-winning squad. They sacked Mourinho. We finished 10th that year, but it was still a title-winning squad. We plugged in Kante and we won the league again the year after. We don't have a good squad.
Okay, so on that point, where do you go from there then? What do you want? That's what I'm saying. For example, let's say, cool. The reality is, let's say, for example, the reality is in the next 3 years, you're not going to win major honours. You might pick up a Carabao Cup in 3 years. Let's say that's the reality. What would you want to see from the manager, the owners, and the players to make that acceptable?
Nothing. There's nothing that will make that acceptable. Nothing.
So what, you reckon the manager can come in next season, in the next 3 years? Yeah. Let's say, for example, a manager comes in next season. Yeah. You think he can win the Prem in 3 years?
With the squad, no.
Exactly. That's
no, but ideally, I want.
You can't get rid of the squad. That's impossible. They're all a 10-year deals.
No. The squad is getting improved.
They're all on 10-year deals, G.
The squad's getting TP. Man's come from a time, where we signed the likes of Veron in 2004 for 42 million, which is the equivalent of 120 million in football today, and we got rid of him. I don't care. You're giving us 50 million for Gallagher. You're talking about FFP.
No, we're not.
You're here funding us.
We'll give you Skip and a packet of crisps.
Bro, you're giving us 50 million for Gallagher.
FFP,
So I don't want to hear
bro.
FFP.
FFP. All right, cool. What's the first 3 signings you make in summer?
All right, cool. We need a striker.
For how much? And let me ask.
Gyökeres.
For how much?
I'll say roughly about like 80 million. You can amortize that though.
You're not allowed to do that thing anymore. You lot got caught, bro.
No, watch, man. We're Lupo FC.
All right, cool. Let's go. That's 80 million already.
All right, cool. We need defend. I don't think we need defenders though. We need a centre back, innit? Ideally, I want like at least 65 million on the centre back, innit?
It's not happening, buddy. You're not spending more than. I'll say you're not spending more than 110 million somewhere.
No, that's cap, bro. That's cap. We're making at least 200 millions in outgoings.
Who?
We've already done the calculations.
Who?
Look, let me get up.
We're not, and stop. Don't incorporate us paying 50 million for Gallagher because that's not.
If you don't pay it, Newcastle will, bro.
That they can't as well. They're on the FFP as well, bro.
Hold on.
Bro, everyone's scared of FFP. No one's spent in January, you know. Everyone's scared.
Yeah, everyone's shitting themselves. All right, cool.
Oh, this guy has a Word document.
Bro, I've got a whole manifesto on how to fix the club's issues. But literally,
let's go.
Broja, Gallagher, Maatsen. Maatsen's 35
I want the
million.
prices, buddy.
No, look, Maatsen, 35 million.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already confirmed. Lewis Hall has gone to Newcastle, 35 million. That's 70 million already raised.
How do you not do this? He's like, bro, 15 million, bro. He hasn't done anything.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. We already raised 70 million off the bat already on outgoings. Gallagher is going
Bro, you're not selling
50 million.
Cucurella. You're not selling Cucurella.
Gallagher's going for 50 million. Chalobah, I'll say roughly 20 million. We'll manage to flip that. You'll probably go to like a Serie A or something. Now, Lukaku, I put asterisks because we're selling him. Lukaku, Kepa, Ziyech, we're selling him a loss. Robert Sanchez.
Hey, what? Is Ziyech still on loan?
Yeah.
To where? Galatasaray. That's crazy. I thought you did get rid of him.
Yeah. Broja, I think we make.
Oh, you think you're gonna loan out Mudryk? Oh,
he's getting loaned out. I've heard it. Like my sources have let me know he's getting shipped.
I could actually bet you money for that. He's not happening.
He's getting shipped out.
I can bet you money he's gonna be in your squad next season.
No way.
Loan? You think you're gonna loan him out to where? To where? Let's hear this.
Bro, he's got offers from Germany, Spain, and Italy. He's going. He was meant to go on loan in January. We stopped it from happening. I'll loan him to Tottenham. That'll be a good loan for him. For all parties.
We got Brennan Johnson.
No, but he don't play on the right. He's a good Werner replacement.
Wait, didn't you not just get Chukwuemeka and you're loaning him back out?
He's going to Strasbourg. Worst case scenario, Mudryk can go Strasbourg, you know. You guys forget. We got a feeder. He can go to Strasbourg. But yeah, in terms of selling players, we're gonna raise within at least minimum 150 million. So,
and how much is that is recouping what you spent last year?
Nothing. We was in the green last year. Do you know how many outgoings we had? We made at least 300 million from sales last year. So that's what I'm saying.
Right, cool. So ideally for you, what do you have Poch next year? Ideally. Because then that would lead to my next question.
If we improve the squad, I'd give him until like October, November.
Before you improve the squad, because to improve the squad, you need a.
He wants to do that. The reason why I'm open to letting him stay is because he's been calling out saying we need experienced players. Barring Chilwell, Reece James, and Kunku, who have been injured all season, only Sterling and Thiago Silva have over 150 league appearances at the club. Everyone else are inexperienced from top to bottom. So he's been calling this out from the longest. So if that's the case, I'm open to him now having a say in that, but to what extent now? Because are we going to sign Pochettino players? And if we sign him, we know he's only got a 2-year contract. After this season, he's got a year left anyway. So we're going to sign these players that maybe might not even fit no one else's system but his, which is, you know what I'm saying, it's weird. So yeah, I'll say I want Amarin. I would be open to an Amarin or Mourinho to come back, or Tuchel. If it ain't any of those three, I'll keep him.
See you, buddy. Obviously, you meet here next year, see how it goes on that.
Do you think, genuinely speaking, Pochettino has the capabilities to turn this around and be a success at this club?
I don't know, bro. I think even in the back, I feel like it's more subconscious than anything. In the back of a lot of Chelsea fans' head is, number one, he was an old Spurs manager. In the back,
that's why we hate him.
Do you get it?
I don't like him.
And I feel like the only way to live that down is to win major honors, something that he hasn't actually done before. Like did he win one league on or something? Did he even win it?
Yeah, he won the league on.
Exactly. But I think the only way to clear his name is to win major honors, and I don't know if he can do that. Do you know what I mean? So, in terms of turning it around, obviously things can get better. Right now it's dire. Obviously things can get better, but I don't know if it could be where you lot want it to be. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like it's a marriage that didn't need to happen. I think you lot should have 100% kept Tuchel, because Tuchel looked like the perfect fit. He looked like
our Wenger. I feel like we finally found our Wenger.
Yes. That's how I saw it. I think the number one game is obviously when he played Conte and they had that little bust up. I think he was wearing the Chelsea. He was wearing a Chelsea trackie or something, or the body warmer or something.
It was like looking me in my eyes.
And I was looking at him.
That was only last season, you know.
Yeah,
that was the start of last season. It seems like it was an eon ago. Like,
I was looking at him, and I think he was wearing the Chelsea body warmer. And I was thinking, do you know what? This actually does give Chelsea manager. Like, he looks like a Chelsea manager. And to just sack him off and then have 2-3 managers try and do what you wanted him to do, somebody that just won you the Champions League, and it's like now you've seen that, it actually wasn't easy. It's like, I think it was a bit of a mistake.
In terms of the hotels, it has not been confirmed by the Premier League, as they don't believe that it was sold fair market value. So basically, they sold the club to themselves, the hotel to themselves, for way more than it's actually worth. So we don't know whether that's going to keep us in the green for FFP. If that does go through, though, in terms of FFP, which I think it will, they're just trying to make our lives hell.
Admit one thing. Admit that you miss Daddy Roman.
I ain't calling him Daddy Roman, but I definitely miss him. Yeah, we definitely miss him. For sure.
Oh, you don't have Daddy Roman to chuck you 200 million. Go on, here you go.
It's not even about the 200 million, bro. This man splashed $1 billion. Do you know what it is? It's the incompetence. Like, if you imagine Roman just said, yo, Marina, here's $1 billion, splash on the squad, bro. I used to be critical of Marina. I hated her guts. When we won the Champions League and she brought us Saul and Lukaku instead of Hakimi and Chouameni and Haaland, I was bugging out. But I let it slide, because look what's going on now. She kept us competitive at the very least, bro. What are we dealing with? Win Stanley, Lawrence Stewart, guys that have never won trophies before. They don't even know what it means to be at a top club. Look at the players they're signing with $1 billion. Did you know Caicedo 2 years ago? Did you know Enzo 2 years ago? Did you know Mudryk 2 years ago? Petrovic, Disasi, Bajashil, Disasi pairing almost got relegated from Monaco. And this is who we brought to my great club. It's a joke. So at the end of the day, yeah, cool. These man, the under 25s model, I don't agree with it, but you gave the directors £1 billion. Why do we have no world beaters? Why do we still need a striker? We are yet to replace Diego Costa. It's been 7 years. It's a disgrace from top to bottom, bro. They're asking, tell me who you're selling to raise funds this summer.
Romero, Van der Ven, Vicario.
You're selling, wait, what? Huh? You're selling these, man?
Yeah.
This guy's a troll. Yo, I would take Romero in a heartbeat.
Who am I selling? Højbjerg. Maybe we can get 30 million. Maybe. please.
From who? 30 million from who? You got, hey, please.
Oh, no, but don't you think, like, look, this, I've got the perfect script. Somebody goes to buy Paulinho from Fulham, yeah, for about 60 million.
That's what I want. That's what I want us to do.
Exactly, going. You get him for 60 million, then they'll pay us 30 million for Højbjerg. Perfect.
Bro, you're not getting 30 million for Højbjerg.
Bro, surely, man, he's a...
How old is Højbjerg? 30?
Yeah, he's 30 now.
Yeah, you're not getting 30 million for him, bro. That's a good... He's getting 8 to 15 million max.
Stop.
Seriously.
25, bro. 25.
You know why our players, why our Cobham boys have these prices? It's because they're homegrown. They're homegrown players. Do you get what I'm saying? It's different. Like, we ain't selling no bums for 30 million. He's going to Sevilla for 5 million.
The thing is, and we can't even sell outside the Prem because none of them have money, bro. No one has money except from in England.
That's what makes us so good to sell, because we have homegrown players. There's a homegrown quota. That's why when our fan base say, we need to sell Chilwell, Gallagher, and Sterling. Yo, these guys are homegrown. There's certain rules. You know, if you guys ain't played the FM before, there's a certain amount of homegrown players you need to have in your team. That's why these lot will always be worth something. Guys like Højbjerg, you know what I'm saying? In Ndombele, how much did you sell Ndombele for?
Bro, he's still on loan, bro.
He's still on your books. He's still on your books.
He's still on
you
loan,
see what I'm
bro.
saying? It's different, right?
He might be pound for pound our worst signing ever.
Would you say so?
Bro, he did nothing for us, bro. And the thing is, he's one player.
You used to love Ndombele, though. You used to love him.
Bro, yes, my little brother, even still now, every single season, my little brother says, bro, all Ndombele has to do is come back, have a good preseason, every single summer he says it, This year I was even thinking, Ange's here, top football in Ndombele, bro. And Ange's just like, I don't want you, bro. Off you go, like, bro. Pound for pound, he might be our worst signing ever, bro.
How much was he?
Like 70 million. Bro, that was a marquee new stadium signing, bro.
Fucking hell, he was 70 million.
Yeah, something like that. Like around 70 million. Let me check. Nah, Soldado.
Yeah, Soldado was criminal. So 65 million. That's mad. Bro. That's mad.
Yeah, bro. And we have him on like 250 or something.
250 a week.
Something
that's why he's
crazy like that.
He hit a lick. He don't care. He don't care, bro. Bruv. Fucking hell, man. Because I think Mudrik's definitely our worst signing ever.
Man said definitely. Man said definitely, bro. You can't say definitely.
He's definitely our worst signing ever. He cost 88 million.
How much?
88 million.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? The market's inflated, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So 88 million is really like 60 million. Yeah,
but Torres, you know what I'm saying? Torres contributed to a Champions League, bro. He won that corner for Drogba's equalizer. He scored even though it was already through, he scored a winner against Barca and the new camp. Cucurella, 65 million. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kind of mad. Lukaku cost 98 million. Lukaku, 98 million. He was actually playing well before the interview.
As in 98 million pounds?
Yeah.
What?
Kepa, 72 million. Wesley Fofana, 80 million.
Kepa, bro. Kepa was bad, bro.
Yeah, Kepa was bad. We spent a lot of stupid money, bro. Fofana, 80-odd million.
The thing is, I actually thought that guy was decent at Leicester.
Yeah, he was. It's just an injury. We signed him, when he had an ACL on one knee and he broke his other leg. And we signed him fresh off.
He's done then, isn't it?
Yeah, he's 23 years old. He just had another ACL. He had an ACL in preseason. He ain't been back since. Courtois had an ACL mid-season and has been back before him. It's mad.
Brother, tomorrow, innit? We go to war and that.
Are you going to the stadium?
Nah, man. I haven't been to... Have I been to a game this season? Maybe
you went to Chelsea?
I mean, nah, was I there?
At home. I remember you sending me a snap.
I don't remember, you know. I remember, do you know why? Because
I think
the year before last season, bro, I went to about 30 games, all comps, home and away,
like Antonio Conte.
Yeah, bro.
That stinks.
And this season, last season I didn't go to any. This season I've been to like 1 or 2 max. Because, bro, it's peak, bro. Especially that Conte ball, bro. Everybody's just, you know how English fans are already there. It's like they sit down when something happens, they cheer. So we're just sitting down thinking, yo, this is peak. It's cold. It's like I have to park bare far and then walk to the stadium, and then I watch that rubbish and then walk back to the car, and then there's traffic going home. So I'm just thinking, is this worth it, bro? It's not even worth it. Like, obviously this season maybe a bit, but next season maybe I'll get back on that. Obviously, that's another reason why I want Europa League. It's going to be a bit cheaper to do European fixtures, isn't it? Like Champions League, they're going to extort me for Ballon if there's like Champions League fixtures buying away, like planes, hotels, everything's going to be expensive. But you know, if I get like a cheeky little Sevilla's cheeky little, I don't know, like
that's what you're
Mönchengladbach or something.
That's why you want Europa League.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Conference League. If we get Conference League, man's gonna be in Malia in November, bruv. Fuckery. Guy and I beefer.
So next year I'm gonna try and do more Europe, a lot more Europe. And that's low key why I want Europa, because it's gonna be a bit cheaper in it, bro. I'm not trying to, bro. Round of 16, we might get Bayern in that year. I'm gonna spend nearly a rack all in to go, and probably even more than that, and then just get pumped. Oh, nah, bro.
Kane's gonna score a dagger on you. I'm sure you're rooting for Bayern to win the Champions League, innit?
I'm indifferent, bro. I just want to see a good competition, man. I just want to see good football. I feel like this is one of the Champions Leagues that it has some feeling about it. I don't know why. Like, I don't remember the last time I felt like this about Champions League games. Like, even, Bayern haven't been the same Bayern that we've known, but like, it was still a good game. It was still a good game with Arsenal, PSG, what do you call it? Real Madrid, City was a good game. Like, so I just want to see a good competition. Obviously, there's PSG Dortmund today. Hopefully, that's a good game, and hopefully PSG get to the final. We can see like a Real Madrid PSG final.
That's what I want. I want to see. I want to see Mbappe win the Champions League before he goes. But
imagine he wins it with PSG against Real Madrid. That would be crazy. That's cement his legacy, by the way.
Yeah, but the maddest thing though is if PSG win the Champions League, that Xavi Simons dream is out the window, bro. He's not joining us.
Is he a PSG player?
Yeah, he's just on loan at Leipzig.
Okay.
He's never made it. He's never broke into the team. Like, he was at PSV.
I remember he was at PSV.
Like, he's never really played for them. But we'll see in it. Hopefully they don't win the champs just because of that. But I do want Mbappe to win the Champions League with PSG before he goes, man. That'll be nice for him.
Yeah, because I feel like it will take a lot away if he doesn't win it, then goes to Real Madrid and wins it next year.
Well, imagine how bad it'd be if he lost to Real Madrid in the final, then joined them.
But to be fair to him, at least we've all known that was coming.
Nah, if that happens, he's got to stay at least another 2 years.
I saw they signed the contract already.
You reckon?
Yeah, bro, it's all done, bro. Everything's done, bro. He's going on. They asked him, "Is there any chances that PSG, even if they win the Champions League?" He said no.
Fucking hell. So all in all, you think Spurs are winning tomorrow?
Yeah. I think it'll be a good game because, as I said, like I know you said that a lot of people have said that Chelsea raised their limit according to their opposition, but I genuinely think they do that. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like, I don't know how they do it. For example, with City, even though you didn't take your chances, you matched them for the majority of the game. I feel like including the top six, only the top six. I feel like Arsenal was the only game that I kind of looked at it as, oh, this is a mismatch from minute one. Do you know what I mean? Other than that, I feel like you competed in every other game. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's going to be the same. I feel like it's going to be a competitive game. And I feel like we'll win. I feel like we'll know that, all right, cool, we're better than this team. Obviously, we're licking our wounds from the weekend. And I feel like we'll go out there and win.
I don't know about win, but I think it'll be a draw. Stamford Bridge record against you guys is very good.
Yeah,
I'll say it's a draw. But in terms of our lineup, you know what I'm saying, we've got no Gusto. Gusto's pretty much out for the season. They ain't announced it yet, but he's definitely out for the season. Knee ligaments.
Yeah, but it's not like we have a left winger to take advantage of that.
Yeah, what would your 11? So our starting 11 would probably be Petrovic in goal, Chalobah right back, Disasi and Thiago Silva, or Disasi and Badiashile, and then Cucurella left back. Midfield, Caicedo, Gallagher, Palmer on the 10, Madueke on the right. I would like to see Sterling on the left over Mudryk, and then Jackson up top. That stinks.
I guess it's the best team you can field, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we'd go, obviously, Vicario. Left back would probably be Van der Ven. Or actually, he's going to probably do Emerson left back. He's been doing that. I don't know. Van der Ven has never played left back for us. I don't know if this is going to be the first day he tries. So it might be Emerson left back. Obviously, Van der Ven and Romero in centre back. Porro. I don't know what he's going to do because he started Højbjerg for the first time in a long time, and he didn't really cover himself in glory. So I think he might revert back to Sarr, Basuma, Maddison, or Sarr, Bentancur, Maddison. So I don't really know the three he's going to go with. And then I guess he will do, obviously Werner's injured now, isn't it? So he'll do Kulusevski, Son, and then Johnson on the left.
What about Lo Celso?
Bro, I don't know what it is with that guy because some reports came out saying that, oh yeah, Spurs want to end speculation and offer Lo Celso a new deal. But I'm thinking, wait, you don't even play my man, like you don't even play him. Like, I don't really know. Like, I feel like he's got some qualities, but I'm not going to be somebody that's going to be player FC for him because I feel like he's got some qualities. He's had some good games for us. He's played well against Man City a few times, and like, yeah.
I think he's another flop as well, though. I expected a lot from him. He was highly regarded.
I also expected a lot from him as well, like. But I don't know. I think he just had injuries, and he's been on loan a few times, and then he hasn't started, and he's got 20 minutes here, and I don't know, bro. I don't know what it is with him. I feel like we need to see, because if we're gonna give him a new deal, then we need to see something why you're giving him a new deal. Because it seems that Ange absolutely doesn't trust him. It's like it's not even his plan B, it's his plan C. So like even when he would make his first set of subs, it's never Lo Celso. Lo Celso is more 80th, 78th minute. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really know where to stand on this also, what the team really thinks of him.
Literally, it's been a long video. Thanks for coming through. Let's just wrap this up. If you're free tomorrow after the game, we'll do a live reaction. There'll be way more people here. So
if we win.
If you win, you're gonna duck smoke if you don't.
Yeah. I'm owning up right here, yeah. So if we lose and you say, oh, come on, and I say, oh yeah, bro, I'm busy.
This guy is shameless.
Bro, I'm owning up, bro.
At least you kept it real with it. But yeah, say no more, man. Well, hopefully we don't see you tomorrow then, man. I appreciate you coming on. You should do this more often, man. This is more time. Is any Big Six clubs can come here. We even had Brighton's fans here in the weekend as well. So whenever you want to, I've given you the creator badge. You know what I'm saying? You can just jump on.
For sure, bro. Anytime, bro.
All right, man. Take care, chat, man. We'll be back 1 p.m. with Sammy Mokbul. You guys have your questions ready. You know what I'm saying? That one's going to be a good one. We're going to ask some pressing questions about what's going on at Chelsea. Hopefully, the under-25 model's been changed. We're going to find out about the Marina Gravenskova case. And yeah, so 1 p.m. be here. We'll be back. Any dreams today? I got a meeting with Win Stanley later in the evening. We got a dinner together. Pause. So hopefully I find out some information about what's going on at Chelsea. Now I'll see what legally I can provide. I'm not a brown envelope. But yeah, take care, people. Love TP, man. I'm gonna text you, man. I appreciate you, bro.